fight the power like BITCHUTE.
What's the status, 3?
I'm good, just making the world a better place, that's all.
Between earth and God, I'm a byproduct. I come from a family of hustlers. That byproduct, money is the root of all evil. But I'm still trying to find a large profit. It's a mirage, they live in a facade. I was smoking thigh and had a talk with God. She told me why she named me John. I authored scriptures to shed light on a darker picture. If you my dog, I'm barking with you. You feeling the star wisdom. My homie Chuck told me it was giants on earth before me. And chemtrails, we inhale. That's another story. Mercury is used to check temperature. The sun is the spirit sink in the earth. The moon is the portal. Assuming you important. Set your turn. Mars is wars as the M turn. And change words. I'm in the game, but change service. I'm about to disassemble a bomb. I ain't nervous.
Drake, Dragon, Draco, Draconian, land of the giants, ice wall, Patagonian, lexicon, word wizardry, speaking Babylonian, highways of the vortex, shooting out the fallopian, low vibrating light, king of the material, mark of the beast, nanotech, scanning serial, the mental dead, carried by 6 to your burial, the lights is out. No resurrection, broken power grid, no interconnection. The Grim Reaper, I'm so collecting. 6-shot, hollow tip, rubber grip, Smith & Wesson. Bitch, repent when God is in your presence. Your aura is weak, uproot your essence. I walk through darkness, highly illuminated. Eyes blazing with fire, with blades double serrated. Hunting down clowns I double hated. Hit so hard your jaw is elongated. Shatter egos like they was glass plated. This was long overdue, past dated. One shot deal, it is as is and no recreation. All praises due to my parents for making. Always appreciate and never abated. 1,
2, 3. Well, better late than never, as they say, right? Let's see. So I've been hearing there's well, I'm not shocked. There's always friction. Can't even fucking get along for conversations, let alone fucking. Huh. Oh boy. Oh shit. Drop went live. Haven't missed much, I guess. Oh. Who's seen that Elon Musk? Not Elon Musk, yeah. That rocket that so-called landed. Like, that shit looks CGI and a half, man. That was the fakest fucking rocket landing I've ever seen. Max Vision. Drone swarms targets U.S. military base. Really? Who's seen the law that was passed where the military could open? Let's see, is this it? Yeah, Department of Defense. The Biden-Harris administration.
You're not a child. You're a
I would hope not.
media platforms report on this. Apparently, the Biden-Harris administration has authorized the U.S. military to use lethal force against Americans. I'm going to play the first part of this video from Guns and Gadgets. Don't get me wrong, I like Jared over at Guns and Gadgets. I think he's got a great service, you know, letting people know what's going on, especially with regard
we need to pay attention to this.
The Second Amendment. But there's something that I want to add to what he says here. Not that I necessarily disagree with what he's about to say, but we really need to add to it, and we need to think about what's going on the level of tyranny, not just from the Biden-Harris administration, but also from the previous Trump administration and from the previous Obama administration and from the previous Bush administration. It doesn't matter if they're Democrat or Republicans. They hate America, they hate Americans, and they will use whatever they need to use, including lethal force, to bring us to heel. Here's what Jared says.
The Harris-Biden administration just authorized lethal force by the military on United States citizens. Y'all, we need to pay attention to this. I was given this. I got this about 3 weeks ago. Literally, I got this the night that the storm happened here, Hurricane Helene. And I've been just tied up trying to help as many people as I can here. And now I'm finally getting a chance to record this video. This I have the directive. Like I said, I've had it for about 3.5 weeks. And yesterday, I was doing my due diligence. I read this directive, and I even reached out to some of my friends who are currently serving in the United States military in different branches at very high-ranking levels. Some of them in support, some of them in SF, Special Forces, and this is legit. This is the same directive they got, and it's not good.
Okay, so he's got confirmation from people in the military that this Department of Defense directive is something that's actually legitimate. This is something that they're planning on doing. I want to show you from my X page where I posted this, X, formerly Twitter. I want to read some of this to you. It is an actual document. It was put out on September 27th, but this is not a new thing. This happens all the time. This has happened all the time in the past, and it's not just relegated to military, as in the U.S. military, raining terror down and terrorism down on Americans on American soil. So this is DoD Directive 5240.01. Directive DoD Intelligence and Intelligence-Related Activities and Defense Intelligence Component Assistant to Law Enforcement Agencies and Other Civil Authorities. It says it's from September 27th, 2024. And I'm just going to skip to the pertinent part right here on this page. This says assistance in responding with assets with potential for lethality or any situation in which it is reasonably foreseeable that providing the requested assistance may involve the use of force that is likely to result in lethal force, including death or serious bodily injury. And then it says it also includes all support to civilian law enforcement officials in situations where a confrontation between civilian law enforcement and civilian individuals or groups, like the militia that's sanctioned by the U.S. Constitution, which is supposedly the supreme law of the land, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed, is reasonably anticipated. Such use of force must be in accordance with DoD 5210.56, potentially as further restricted based on the specifics of the requested support. So this is an authorization by the Biden administration for use of force against Americans on American soil at the whim of the president of the United States. Something that Jared and I don't think other channels have dealt with here, because I think to some extent there's a two-party politics game being played here. It's like, we got to vote for Trump. If we don't vote for Trump, Kamala Harris will be president. And if Kamala Harris becomes president, America's finished. Similarly, people on the Harris side are saying, if Donald Trump becomes president, he's going to suspend the Constitution, and he may. Harris may. I mean, but isn't the Constitution already neutered? Isn't it already suspended? How many state and federal laws do we have banning guns in the hands of Americans? Should any American be okay with the Firearms Act of 1934? No, we absolutely should not, because whatever firearm that the military possesses is the same firearm that Americans should possess. At least that was the mentality of people who wrote the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, penned the Bill of Rights, ratified all these bills, supposedly securing the freedoms of Americans. They believed that if the British had those weapons, they should have those weapons too. And we're not just talking about flintlocks. They wanted cannons. Do you realize what a cannon can do to a human body, to a group of human bodies with one shot? So the colonists believed, hey, if the British government has them, if the British troops have them, if the tyrants in the red coats have them, we're going to have them too, because that's the only way we can secure peace in our land. I mean, what was it Patrick Henry said? Guard with jealous attention the public liberty. Suspect anyone who goes near that precious jewel. Nothing will secure it but downright force. And when you give up that force, you are ruined. So one thing that I see in this DOD thing, or one thing that I don't see, is I don't see, this has been on the table since September 27th. Talking about almost 3 weeks removed from the signing of this right here, and I have not heard one thing from Donald Trump. He could actually use this to win the presidency. Do you realize that the Biden-Harris administration, Kamala Harris, wants to unleash the military-industrial complex on Americans on American soil? That is unconstitutional, Donald Trump could say, and he could probably sweep the entire presidency in this not election process, but selection process. They're probably going to give it to him anyway, because that's how this cognitive dissonance psychological operation is going. But you don't hear one word out of Donald Trump, not one word of condemnation for what the Biden-Harris campaign, what the Biden-Harris presidency has just done to Americans. And something I don't hear from people on the right, people who would be sympathetic to Donald Trump, and this is a bad mark on Donald Trump as far as I'm concerned. You got this thing in objection to it, in protection of the American people. Something's wrong there. But the second thing is, do we not realize that we already have a domestic military that has stood against us for decades and decades? What happened to Randy Weaver at Ruby Ridge? What domestic terror cell was against them there? The ATF and the FBI? What happened to the people at Waco who they were trying to say were, it's the Branch Davidian cult? If they live on the Branch Davidian compound, oh yeah, what's their crime? They're stockpiling weapons. Well, wait a second. That's in accordance with the Second Amendment. It's the right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. There's no condemnation of stockpiling weapons in anywhere in the Second Amendment. So what's up with that? So they want to villainize Americans, and then they want to criminalize Americans, and then they want to go to the propaganda arm for the military-industrial complex, the fake stream CIA infiltrated Operation Mockingbird, MK Ultra Media, in Americans. It's the problem reaction solution. They create or co-opt a problem or expand or exponentiate the problem when it wasn't really that much of a problem to begin with. They wait for the fear-based reaction, and then they slip in the pre-planned solution that they had waiting in the wings the entire time. It's the Hegelian dialectic. Why have we not learned? Why do we not understand that Kamala is a political parasitic banker puppet, but she's still an enemy that's been for how many years? 5 decades? He's been an enemy of the people. Why do we not know that Ted Cruz, enemy of the people, AOC, enemy of the people, Donald Trump from the string of Peter Thiel, enemy of the people.
That was interesting. Oh boy. Let's check out this firearm. AI overview. The National Firearms Act was the first federal law to regulate transfer of firearms. Response to the frequent use of certain weapons in crime, gang violence. Interesting. During the practice forever. Not only do they promote gang violence, they promote it. That's that problem reaction solution. Impose taxes and registration require short barrel shotguns and rifles, suppressors, and other weapons. Just like in Connecticut. Huh. You gotta register them, that's crazy. Oh no. The Second Amendment says you have a right. There's all these add-ons that should be void. Yeah. To secure the constitutional really flaw was the person that thought. First requirement for possessors to register
That's kind of good. You don't have to register on the registry.